everyone. Today we are going to learn 1.2 sampling method. So we have course objective, learning objective for this section. So here we go. Now this section is about collecting the data. All right. So we learned the census last time, the definition, right? So census is a list of each individual in the population along with measurement or observation. So I told you last time, think about we do census every 10 years, right? So my name, my gender, my age, what is the ethnic background, like that, right? Okay, now we have population. So we had a population last time, entire group, right? So entire group. Or we can say that all individuals, right? Okay, then we can take out some sample from those population, right? Okay, now we have another terminology, the frame. So we have a frame. What is a frame? Frame is a list of all individuals, yeah? So we have all individual means it's a population, right? So this means population. So let me read one more time. What's the frame? Frame is a list of all individuals in the population, right? So a list of population, same as, right? Okay, then let's recall what is a population? Population means entire group. We just did that, which is the same as all individuals, right? What is individual? Visual. What is individual? So we have population, entire group. We get the sample. Then we take out some individuals, right? So individuals. So many individuals. So many individuals, so individuals, right? Yeah. Okay. Now we just did a frame. Frame is list of all individuals from the population. Yeah, all individuals, also population, right? We have a census. Census is measures of all individuals, right? Then what's the sample? Sample is measure only some from frame. Okay, this one's slightly different. So we had a last time sample. We get sample from the population, right? But here, more deeply about the definition, measure only some from the frame. But generally, we can say the population. For more specific, we say the frame because the list of all individual is the frame. Make sense to you? Okay, let's understand this. I have an example. So population is all 842,000 residents in San Francisco. What's the frame? List. We want to list of all residents' names and addresses. Yeah. And what's the census then? Census government survey measuring the age, income, and occupation of all 842,000 residents. What is the sample? The survey of 1,000 randomly chosen residents from the frame. Yeah. Once again, generally we say the population. More specific is a frame. Yeah. Make sense? Say uh-huh. Okay, very good. All right. So we have a simple random sample here. So this definition, let's take a look. Simple random sample. So what is the simple random sample? It's a sample of a size n, generally we're speaking the variable, right? So lowercase n, we are using for sample, and then we are going to use the uppercase of n for population. So here we go. So this is a population size n, uppercase, and sample size n, lowercase. We're gonna use the lowercase, yeah, n. So we take the sample size n, lowercase n, taken from population size uppercase, yeah. It's a simple simple random sample. So what is a simple random sample again? If every possible sample of size lowercase n has equal chance of being selected, yeah, equal chance of being selected. That is simple random sample. So this is a very important terminology. So every time we make a sample, so we are using simple random sample, the method from this course. Yeah. So, oops. Oh, what is this? Hold on a second. Yeah, special. Start. Okay. Now, we want to describe the example. Describe how you could create simple random sample of 4 students from class of 46 students. Yeah. Okay, so we can label all the students' name. So 1 through 46. We can write down only the number in the paper and put in the head. We can just make a like a raffle, right? Or we can use a software. So let me write down this one. Okay, so I wrote down label or writing name on the paper and label like 1, 2, 3, 4 with a name, right? And place the papers in a head, then draw 4 of them from a head, right? Number 2, software. We are using StackCrunch for this course. So let me show you how to do it, right? So we have 46, the group, entire group is 46. We want to make a simple random sample 4, right? Okay, so this is StackCrunch. And then we want to go to applet. In the applet, we have random numbers. I want to click that. And then minimum from the 1 to maximum is a 46. 46. And then sample size, we want to draw 4 sample size, right? So 4. Okay. I don't click the allow to repeat. Then compute. I click that. Okay, those numbers is random sample. So let me make a screenshot. Okay, so I made a screenshot here. These numbers are varies, right? So if you try, your number is different than mine, right? If other person try, then those numbers are different with my number. So that is simple random sample. Yeah. So number 6, number 27, number 43, number 26 in that case. Make sense? Okay, so let's talk about the simple random sample continuously. Continuously. Okay, so we have an example to determine if a sample is a simple random sample. So I want to select 4 students out of 46 in my statistic class. Determine if the method will create simple random sample. The first one, select the first 4 students who show up to class. Okay, so what do you think about this? Before we do that, let's review what is the simple random sample, right? So simple random sample means the sample must be equally chance to being selected, right? So here is the definition here, right? So what do you think about the first one? The first one is not simple random sample because the students, some students being late, right? So those students not equally chance to being selected, right? How about second one? Select the first 4 students in the 3rd row of desk. So this is the same reason this is not simple random sample. What about the other rows of students who's sitting, right? So they don't have the same chance to be picked by the teacher, right? How about C? Select the first seat in the each of the first 4 rows. This is not as well simple random sample. Select the 4 students whose names I know. So everything. What if I don't know those students? They don't have equally chance to being selected, right? So every example here is not simple random sample, right? So let me copy and paste the solution here. So here we go. Yeah, this is the solution. What we just talk. All right. Okay. Now, as I told you, simple random sample is most important, but there is other sample method we have to learn. So I want to introduce the first one, stratified sampling here. So what is a stratified sampling? So it's divide the population into non-overlapping groups called strata. So strata, we can say in other words, similar group. So let me write down similar group. So similar with what? By gender right here, and ethnicity like that, education level, that's a strata, all right? Okay, then use proportional simple random sample on the stratum. Yeah. Okay. So we have a nice picture here. We have population. So we divide into similar group. So this is a similar group. Then we get sample from those group. Make sense? Okay, let's take a look this one. So example 3, you wish to survey students but feel that gender identity could be a factor in the responses. How do you process? So in that case, we are using stratified sampling. So if you were concerned about difference in opinion due to gender identification, you could divide the population into strata based on gender identity. This would allow you to compare the data from each gender identification subgroup. Okay? All right. Number 2, you should, I'm rushing. You wish to survey people in your area about attitude toward the police treatment, but feel that race and ethnicity could be a factor. How do you proceed, right? So then we make a strata. So same race, same ethnicity. So we divide it into groups. Then we take the random sample from that group. Yeah. Okay. Now we just learned the stratified sampling, right? Secondly, we have a systematic sampling. So let's take a look. So systematic sampling, we have a systematic sample is obtained by selecting a random starting point, then include every case individual thereafter. Okay, what this mean? We have a population, and this is a random sample, random pick. Then after 1, 2, 3, right? So every third sample, we pick that. There's a systematic sampling. Okay, so how do we use systematic sampling? So we have a sampling every 10th person to call tutoring center, and sampling every 30th person to register to vote. These kind of things, yeah? Okay. Now we have a cluster sampling. So cluster sampling is divide the population into cluster. So cluster means into groups. Okay, then what's the difference between stratified sampling and cluster sampling, right? So stratified sampling, we divide into similar groups. So that is strata, right? The cluster sampling, we divide into any group, yeah? Okay, then what's the difference between stratified sampling and cluster sampling? So look, we divide into any group for the cluster sampling, and then we take the sample from all members from the group. So all members. Or members, members from the group. Okay, stratified, we divide into similar group. We take the sample, simple random sample, yeah? The each person then, right? This is all members from the group. Simple random sample from each group. That's the stratified sample. Okay? All right. So we have an example here. So a college wants to survey students about their feelings about parking and public transportation. They need at least 300 responses from students for the survey to be meaningful. Describe how cluster sample could be used, right? So let me just read this one. So we make at least 300 responses. Then we make 10 classes. Then we want to take the all, right? So all members. So must be 30 students in that class. So 10 plus 30, which is 300 students in that sample. Make sense to you? Okay, now we have a convenience sample, like an English word. We take the sample conveniently, right? So that's a meaningless for the sample. So if we want to survey how many hours students study, how many hours the college students study per week, then they should go to the parking lot or in the campus or cafeteria, right? Not go to the library. Students tend to study more, right? Yeah. So that's a convenience sample. Or you just don't want to go out anywhere. Just survey your classmate nearby you. That's convenience sample, right? Okay, we have a self-selected survey. It's also convenience sample. So it's like an English word, self-selected survey, right? So email, online, phone survey are self-selected. Okay, now let's answer this one, okay? All right, so the first one, create a list of all students who have attended tutoring at the center. Divide, divide. What is the keyword, right? Divide the students by the class they received tutoring in algebra, statistics, calculus, etc. Then select simple random sample from each group. Oh, what is that? Oh, bingo, right? So this is a stratified sampling because they divide into similar group, math group, right? Algebra group, statistics, and calculus, right? Then pick simple random sample from the group. That's a stratified, right? Okay. Okay, second one, randomly select 10 days from the semester and survey all students who attended tutoring on those days. What is that? Da-da-da. Yes, very good. Cluster sample, right? So divide into 10. So they select 10 days from the semester, right? So that's divide into 10 groups, same as, right? But then they survey all. There is a cluster sample. It's the difference between stratified sample and then cluster, right? So divided by into 2 groups and then get the random sample from the random sample means stratified sample get all sample, that means cluster sample, right? And C, create a list of all students who have attended tutoring at the center. Randomly select students from list to survey. What do you think? Very good. Simple random sample. Yeah. Simple random sample. Okay. D is dog. Okay. Send an email to all students who have received tutoring and ask them to complete the survey. What is this? Cannot think? Okay, let's move on. E, create a list of all students who have attended tutoring at the center. Number the students starting with 1, choose a random number between 1 to 49. Select that student and every fifth student. Yeah, every fifth student. That's the keyword, right? What is this? Systematic sample. Very good. Systematic sample. Okay, then let's go back to previous one. What do you think about this? Send an email to all students who have received tutoring and ask them to complete the survey, right? So this one we had earlier, like a self-selected survey, right? So email. So this one also convenience sample, right? Okay, so convenience sample. Spell. Okay. Oh, yeah. I should do using this one other side. All right. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the section 1.3. Thank you. Bye.